Now, last week, an Irish Defence Forces soldier received a 3-year fully suspended sentence after attacking Natasha O'Brien on the street in 2022.
And we are very privileged to have Natasha join us this morning. Natasha, thank you so much for coming in and chatting to us. It's a pleasure to have you here. How are you doing?
Thank you, Marion. Thank you, Tommy. It's great to be here. I felt completely alone after the whole ordeal last week in court. But to know I have so much support, to know I have so many people behind me, to know people are so proud of me for speaking up about something that I think everybody can relate to and everybody is not happy about. It's really just so honourable to be here, and it's great to be able to use my voice and hopefully make a difference, because that's why I'm talking about this, and I'm sharing my story so that people can relate to me and be angry and direct their anger at the right people,
Because let's go all the way back to 2022 when this happened. You were leaving work, walking through Limerick City Centre. What happened, Natasha?
I mean, as growing up as a little girl, you're always told don't walk the streets alone at night. Something bad might happen. So I've always been careful not to walk alone at night. So myself and my friend Shauna, we said we'll get a taxi together. She lives close by, so I'll get off and she'll get off. And then we were walking down the main street of Limerick, O'Connell Street. And we just noticed a group of boys and they were just shouting really aggressively across the street at this guy. He was by himself, really homophobic slurs, and we were just very shocked, very, very frightened for him that, oh my goodness, like these guys seem quite malicious, So we just said, okay, look, we're just gonna say, don't be using those kind of words. It's just, when you see something wrong, you just feel the need to look out for, make sure someone else is okay. Like, I didn't want to wake up the following day and read some headline about some young man being viciously attacked. Like, I didn't want to hear that. So that's why we felt the need to just speak up and say, guys, don't be using those kind of words. And then all that aggression was turned towards me. And I was the victim of a serious assault.
What happened?
So I remember when we kind of just said, lads, come on now. And my attacker, he just turned towards me. He was really angry that how dare I tell him he cannot be verbally abusive to somebody. Like, how dare how dare anyone hold him accountable for his actions? And so he grabbed me by the hair and just started punching me repeatedly into the face. I felt like a punching bag, like when you're holding the punching bag and it was pretty gruesome. It definitely didn't feel human.
Did his friends try and stop him?
So, Shauna, at this point, my friend beside me, after about 6 punches, after about 6 right hooks, I just ended up smashing my head off the ground. He got onto the ground and was just continuing to beat me relentlessly. But Shauna was watching. She was frozen in fear. She was so shocked, and she watched as all his friends just looked, just kind of smirked and walked away. So that was
So they just watched him on top of you, punching him, and walked away?
Yeah, absolutely. And Shauna she was so, she told me, she's expressed to me afterwards that, I felt so helpless, Natasha. But I just was so afraid that if I tried to help you, he'd hurt you more, or I'd be unconscious on the ground too, and then what good am I to you if we're both there? So she screamed and screamed for help, and thank God someone down in a pub 50 metres down the road heard her and sprinted down and pulled him off me because he wasn't stopping. So, there are some really good people too.
Yes.
And I think having been the victim of something like that, I found out how bad people can be, but I also found out how good people can be. I got the two opposite ends at the same time. I really got to experience a full circle of,
You're amazing. You're looking for the good in people still. Yeah. But in the immediate aftermath of this, you're knocked out, you're on the ground. What happens? Are you gone straight to hospital?
So I'm kind of coming back around, and Shauna just bent over me, and I opened my eyes and her tears, and there's loads of people swarmed around me at this point now to see, am I alive? What's going on? Is she breathing? Is she okay? And someone flagged down a patrol car, and an ambulance was called, but They wanted me to go into the patrol car to wait, and I was so traumatised. I just kind of crawled into the corner of Brown Thomas, because it was outside Brown Thomas on O'Connell Street, Limerick. Yeah. And I was just kind of traumatised, just sitting in the corner with Shauna. The guards had to stand in front of me because I just couldn't do anything. And then it took about 2 hours then for the ambulance to come. And then I went out to UHL emergency department, and yeah, it was that was even an experience in itself.
Yeah,
I know exactly. I mean, you went to that and had to go then to another hospital. Tell us what impact. You obviously had fairly serious concussion. Broke your nose. What impact has this had on you physically and mentally? I
mean, you're a rugby player yourself, so I'm sure you've had your fair share of concussion.
I have, but this sounds pretty severe.
And they can be
extremely
scary.
Severe.
When you get a blow to the head, I mean, it can be life or death, really. And sometimes it's not immediate life or death. Sometimes it's after a number. Sometimes it takes a toll. So yeah, about 3 weeks after I was attacked, I just, I was kind of having little blackouts, little bits of vomiting episodes, and just all your kind of, your ongoing persistent concussion symptoms. But I just got a wave of kind of symptoms that were really, really intense. And my doctor kind of alerted that I might be high risk for a brain bleed. And so I had to be rushed out to get a brain scan and just a battery of tests, ECG, the list was endless.
It was okay, thankfully.
It was okay. I'm still here.
Yes, you're still smiling and laughing about all of this. But then the real trauma starts.
Yes, the real trauma.
Because then it's time to find the person and charge him and get the guards to do their work. Because I think there's 2 sentences that probably everyone in the country knows now, and that is 2 to put her down, 2 to knock her out. These were words that were written by Cathal Crotty in the immediate aftermath of knocking you unconscious on a street, and he put them up on Snapchat.
Yeah.
When you saw that, because you did see that. What did you think?
Yeah, so it was the following. So this happened Saturday night in the early hours of Sunday morning, and it was the following Sunday evening that their little boys group chat. They were all, ha ha ha, you're a woman beater, oh, call him the woman beater, blah, 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 slagging him. And then he just, being the hard man, 2 to put her down, 2 to put her out, whatever, I don't know, I can't even understand why someone would even think to write something like that. But yeah, I just received a friend came to me anonymously, and she said that, my friend is actually, her boyfriend is in that group chat, and her boyfriend is absolutely disgusted by the way these lads are carrying on. Like, he cannot understand, so he wanted you to know. So that's then when I was able to tell the Gardaí, have a look on his Snapchat, and then they were able to contact the US and get the rights to go in.
I know that, and I believe the guards did an incredible job, and the lengths that they had to go to that. Cathal, he initially claimed that you initiated the attack. He later then admitted and pled guilty in court last week.
And he was showed CCTV.
He was given a 3-year fully suspended sentence. What was your reaction to that?
Well, firstly, before the sentence was handed down, Judge O'Donnell, Judge Tom O'Donnell, he commended my attacker on his bravery, maybe not the word, but he commended him on his guilty plea, and that it was admirable. But I don't understand what's admirable about being boxed into a corner with no way to escape, because you've footage, you've text messages, you've the physical and psychological injuries of your victim, you've multiple witnesses, so I don't really understand how it's honourable to take the guilty plea after initially lying in the course of justice, just because the guards showed him the CCTV and were like, is there anything you want to change about the story, or just after giving us? And then he realised, oh, I'm caught. So, thank God to Brown Thomas for their cameras.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if it had happened on another street...
Really, yeah.
He would have walked... Well, he still did.
With this... Because there was a not. There should be gratitude that that he has decided to plead guilty, even though, as you said, he was shown what had happened to him. And then there was talks about, you know, his future career prospects. You lost your job because you couldn't carry on because of what was going on with your brain. Harry, what do you do with that? Like, we all saw in the aftermath how angry you were.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the value was different between you?
I mean, when I was sitting there, I had just given my victim impact statement. I had to face my attacker in court for the first time, walk up past him and sit in front of the judge. And so when I went and sat back down again, then a commanding officer in the Irish Defence Forces, Paul Tower, he stood up and gave a glowing character reference. And it's subsequently been announced that it's subsequently been stated that, oh no, it's not in policy to give Irish Defence victim impact statements. It's solely a supervisional role that we have in courts. If it's a supervisional role, sit in the back and mind your own business, and don't be stirring your finger in.
This was the character reference that was given.
Because the judge is going to listen to that and hear that, you know, he's an exemplary, mannerly, courteous soldier, and, you know, this is he has a promising career ahead of him, and that's all taken into account.
Listen, it's shocking, and the fact that he was clearly able to see the CCTV, that he was completely in the wrong. He pled guilty to it, but got a 3-year suspended sentence. Now, the judge did give him this because he is following the law. The way the law is at the minute, and similar sentences have received similar judgments. What do you want to see going forward?
I mean, my protest today, I'm outside the Dáil at 6 p.m. and, you know, I urge anyone that isn't happy with our society, because it's not even if you have been a victim, if you know someone that has been a victim, but I think everybody that I have met since I have spoken about my story has either come forward that something similar happened to them, or something similar happened to someone close to them. And I would urge anyone that isn't happy with how things are being run at the moment to protest with me today at 6 p.m. outside the Dáil.
And I know that you have mentioned that this isn't purely about gender, it is about sentencing as a deterrent for this kind of violence, regardless of gender, that we shouldn't be taking this. Can I ask you really quickly, what is your reaction? There is a, quote, hastily organised high-level meeting that was held by the Defence Forces to determine the number of serving personnel who have gender-based violent convictions against them.
I was watching you inside, outside the studio, reading that headline, and oh my God, I was trying to hold back my tears with joy because I didn't want to ruin the makeup. But yeah, I'm so happy. Oh my goodness, like, it's amazing. And even yesterday's headline about a naval officer that received a fully suspended sentence, his victim has now come forward to say, actually, I'm not happy with that sentence either. You know, and it's like, keep coming forward, guys, because we're only going to make an impact.
You must be blown away by the reaction.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. I just cannot describe the feeling. I mean, walking out of that courthouse on Wednesday, like the isolation, the devastation, just utter. So I was so deflated. I just said, what is the point in any of this? You know, and now that I have the nation backing me, I'm just, it's amazing.
You've made a difference in a very short space of time, Natasha.
I'm going to make a bigger difference, I promise.
Good on you.
It is. We hope to talk to you again.
Yeah, definitely.
And honestly, thank you so much for everything you've done in just a few days in helping people to come forward and talk about their stories. You're phenomenal.
Natasha O'Brien, pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.